What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy with No Holds, and as you can see, I'm with my beautiful wife who is joining me tonight. Man, I know I get a little tongue-tied just looking at her. That beauty. It's that beauty. But I know it's been a while. It's been a minute and a half since I've actually done a podcast, but I'm going to try to get on the ball and at least keep it going. But how you doing today, babe? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm tired, but
Be all right.
that mom/wife life.
It's that family life.
Yeah.
And
that quarantine life. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, especially having a 1-year-old who is just everywhere right now.
And doesn't like to sleep.
No, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying life. But today, today, whatever, we're gonna talk about the Rona.
La Rona.
The Ronavirus. A lot of people have different views on what's going on with this virus. I know my perspective at the very beginning was a whole lot different than what Andrea, what her views were, and so we're gonna kind of talk about that. And I think she's got some stuff that she wants to share also. But I'll let you go ahead and start it off, babe.
Well, we just wanted to encourage and just come on here, and we know that these are a lot of people are going through so many different emotions or experiencing so many different emotions. I know for myself, I've been all over the place. I feel like maybe the past week I've been more grounded. I guess you could say a little less on edge. But I've had my moments. So we just want to spread hope and faith, and just, we're going to get through this. We're all in this together. We will get to the other side, and there will be victory. There will be healing for our country, not just our country, but our world. Because I feel like, from what I understand, I don't think there's ever been a time where the whole world has been experiencing the same thing or going through the same thing. I know there have been pandemics in the past, epidemics, what have you. But from what I understand, this is history in the making, because the whole world is experiencing it pretty much. So we are in this together. We will overcome, and there will be, God will get the glory. And so anyway, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, amen. Hallelujah. Jesus' name.
Amen. Okay. So, because I don't know if a lot of you know, but we actually traveled to China. We went on a mission trip to China back in 2017. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm so sorry. Yeah, because 2017. November, the end of October, November 2017. It was an amazing experience. Got to know a lot of great people, and just went to spread his love and his reckless love. And so, anyway, because we went to China, we were signed up to I kept getting the emails, the travel advisory emails. And so I've been kind of following this already since, I guess it was early December or whenever the first case came about, and then it just started, it was worse. And so I kept getting emails about, coronavirus in China and Wuhan, and they're closing, no travel, all travel suspended. And so I would mention it to Jeremy, and I'm just, anxiety is something that, obviously, if you guys didn't already listen to the episode where I shared a little bit of my testimony of what I went through with postpartum depression and anxiety, that is something that I struggle with. And I go from faith to fear and faith to fear. So anyway, I was already like anxious about it, and like I would get the emails and I would just get that feeling, that pit, like, I don't know if whoever struggles with anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. It's like this feeling in the pit of your stomach that is just like, oh, So I mentioned it to him and he's just like, oh, whatever. Like, he doesn't, Jeremy's like the complete opposite of me in that area. Like, a lot of things really don't faze him or bother him. And so I was just really concerned, and I would just pray for China, and like, because we have friends in China and people that we met over there, I was like, definitely my heart went out to them. And so just kept getting closer and closer. And then come January, you see it, and I'm like, man, it's coming, like, and so, I mean, I just was like, okay, like it was past the point of containment. Now it's just like, all right, we got to deal with this. Like what, and so I say all that to say I've been anxious about it since December, and it's been something that I've been like battling. I guess like it wasn't as bad, obviously, until recently, until it got pretty bad here. And so the past few weeks, I guess, when was it that it got bad, where they started? It was like after the 8th. It was that weekend, because we went and got groceries, and so that's when all the toilet paper, toilet paper. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we went to Costco that Sunday and got groceries and stuff, and that week is when everything kind of, stuff hit the pan. Stuff hit the fan. I hate myself. Okay. And so, it was like, I was really, it was hard because I had a lot of anxiety. And then also, I have, some loved ones that live my brother and my sister-in-law live in the Dallas area. And so they were kind of filling us in on what was going on over there. They're, smack dab right in the middle of it, and on, doctors on the front lines. And so a lot of it was really like getting to me, and I got to the point where, of course, like I wouldn't say it was like full on panic attacks as I had before, but it was just more of like, you have those moments where you just can't, like panic attacks for myself aren't like, I used to think that panic attacks were like people just like, I can't breathe, or, it's like super dramatic. Yeah. But the way that they would hit me or come on was just more of like, I was paralyzed and I couldn't think. Like there was no talking me down. It was just like, I can't. And then, I would feel like kind of like a heaviness and just like short of breath, but it wasn't anything like I'm all, I can't breathe. Yeah, it was just more of like, and then I'd get really hot and like my whole body just gets like, goes numb almost, and it's just like I start sweating profusely. Like it's really bad. And so I started experiencing that, and then, but not as bad as it was when I had the postpartum depression and anxiety, because that was the absolute worst. Like I think about it and I can't even. But so I even was telling Jeremy, I was like, I feel like I have like this heaviness on my chest, and like I feel like somebody's sitting on me, and like it was awful. And I started to like get mad because I was, here's our president and the CDC, and they're urging us to, hey, let's practice social distancing, let's stay home, let's do this. The CDC is asking us to do these things, and then I still see people just like whatever, like, you know what I mean? And I'm the type that like, I guess like part of having anxiety and fear is lack of control. Like you feel like you can't control something or a situation. And so that's when you really, like in times like this, you realize like I am not in control. Like I never was, you know what I mean? And so I would get frustrated and mad. I was just like, what are people thinking? Like they're so selfish, and just like.
Well, shoot, I mean, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
Because I totally opposite. At first, for me, I'm sorry to interrupt, babe, but
no,
for me, it was more of like, oh man, like I'm good. There's nothing to worry about. My family's good. I mean, man, we have God. We're covered. We're covered by the blood. The no weapon formed against us shall prosper. I was speaking all these scriptures over us, in which, man, I'm not saying they don't work. Yes, they do. Prayer works, absolutely. His word is alive and it's true and it's living, you know. So I was doing all this, but not thinking like, man, okay, well, yeah, the symptoms, you may not even feel the symptoms. Like I can have it right now and may not even feel them, but then to bring that home, to bring that to my kids and to bring that, you know, Ebony, you know, she has asthma. And so she would probably even maybe get it quicker because her immune system isn't all that strong. But I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking of like, no, I'm good. You know, like, man, my wife's crazy. You know, like, man, she's crazy. Like, no, like, quit thinking like that. But man, Holy Spirit had to teach me. Like, I had to learn to understand how she was feeling, and that was one thing. Right now, that's what I'm trying to learn is like, okay, I need to understand that. Like, Lord, help me understand why people are feeling this way. Why is there so much fear? Why is there some anxiety, you know, depression, you know, what's going on? Help me understand why people are feeling that way. And this has never happened, you know, before, you know, we weren't prepared for this. So now I'm understanding. Now I know, okay, it's okay to take precautions. Like that's wisdom, you know. Oh man, and I should have brought it up, but Pastor Ben DeLay, he had said something on Facebook. Do you remember?
There was a difference between fear and oh my gosh.
Dang it, I'm sorry. Ben.
Yeah, Ben
I'm
or
sorry.
Pastor Ben. Yeah, but what he said was really good because I totally agreed, and I was like, yes, like you know, there is. Yeah, there's a difference between the faith and fear, or like abiding by what our authorities or our president or our government, the CDC, they're telling us to do these things, yet we're like, oh no, it's fine, like it's cool, whatever. And like I said, I was a lot in fear at that time, and so a lot of it was I was acting out of fear and you know, just frustrated and yeah, not having fear and not submitting to governing authorities are two completely different things. So anyway, yeah, because I feel like as Christians, like we can get like you're almost like there's two different groups. Like there's the group that's like, you know, we're like, oh my gosh, you know, you're in fear about it, you're anxious, or you're just taking more precaution or whatever. And then there's those that are like, oh, it's not a big deal, like this is a hoax, it's still all a conspiracy, you know, politics, blah, 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 you know, whatever. And I'm just like, oh, like, you know, but to find that healthy balance to be like, okay, I'm not gonna be calloused to how, like, because I felt like that's how he was being, was just like calloused to like my emotions and like how I'm handling and processing everything and just trying to like work through like I listened to a podcast, The Connected Life. You guys should listen to them. They're really good. But anyway, I was telling a friend of mine, like they say things like a lot of things that they say, I'm like, they're putting words to the things that I'm trying to like that are in my mind that I can't get out because I don't English well, because for many of y'all that don't know, I am Mexican. So
She's crazy.
and I'm crazy. Crazy Latina. Okay, so a lot of things I just don't know how to like communicate well. My vocabulary, you know, I'm like Joey on Friends. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a thesaurus. Okay. All right. So anyway, I love it because they put words to what I'm thinking and feeling. I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's so. What I was trying to get at is like I'm building my faith muscle. I'm like trying to. So how she explained it, like you're in the faith realm and you're in the fear realm, and like you're trying to build that muscle to stay in faith, but like at times you do fall into the fear, you know. And that's where I'm like, man, this is a perfect opportunity for me to grow in this, because I am being stretched and I am in fear, but I'm like, I need to be more in faith. Like I need to grow that muscle to stay in and know how to like get out of the fear and stay in faith. And so just feeding into that, like I haven't been on social media. Like I haven't even been on Facebook. The only reason I saw Pastor Ben's post is because I had a notification about a video. I thought he had posted a video or something, and so I looked, and that like it was the first thing that popped up, you know. And so then I happened to read it or whatever. But I actually have been off of Facebook for a few, like, I guess maybe a month. I don't know, since all this started, and I was just like, no, because it was just negative. People fighting and people, it's just, it's draining.
And I wasn't making it any better by the way I was acting at all. Like she was saying, it's selfish. Like I was pretty much just being selfish. And I don't know if I made you feel this way, but, it got me thinking like, man, like I'm being prideful with not to say with my faith, but I felt like maybe I'm making her feel like she has no faith. Like, nothing is there. And I have all this faith. Like I feel like we can be like that sometimes with people who are in fear right now. Is like, oh, I have all this faith. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to go do this. Well,
I stopped going to the gym immediately because, I was like, I'm not going back to the gym. There's like germs, bacteria. I'm a germaphobe as it is. Not like at an extreme, but I am a germaphobe. Like I worked for a doctor, and so like I got used to like washing my hands all the time and hand sanitizer, which he was like the complete opposite. Oh my gosh, like. Anyway, it's just funny, but I was like, I'm not going back to the gym, and then also like we're not eating out. Like I was adamant about that. I'm like, we are not eating out. We don't know who's preparing our food. Like I bet you anything, people already have it here. We just don't know. Like they're carrying it, And so I'm just like I said, I was at that extreme at that time because I'm still like, I feel like when things happen. Like emotionally, okay, like us as people, there's things that when things come at us, there's certain triggers, and immediately I was triggered, and all of us are because there's certain things that can happen to you that trigger something else, and it's like you're trying to like process it, and you're like, where is this coming from, but I mean, we've been through some stuff, and I've been through some stuff, and so immediately it like triggered things, and I was like, yeah, we're not doing this, blah blah blah. And so he just looked at me like I was crazy, like literally, like I mean, his face said it all, and I was just like, whatever. I don't. And so we're like, and it even was like one day a friend of ours came over, and I was on the phone in the bedroom with my sister-in-law, and then Jeremy goes in there and he's like, oh, so-and-so, he's going to go and get McDonald's. And I was like, what? Like went off on him. Like, I was like, we are not eating out. Do you not understand? Like, and he was just kind of like, what just happened? Like, and so I had to like apologize later. I'm like, I'm sorry. I overreacted. Like, my kids are dying for McDonald's. They're like so done with, I mean, they want, like, all kids like McDonald's, but anyway, we haven't eaten out. Like this whole time, it has definitely stretched me in like cooking, because we were used to like pizza on Wednesdays and eating out on Sundays, and anyway.
Well, I mean, and plus, I can't eat out anyway.
So. Oh yeah, he's on the carnivore diet. Anyway, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to roll my eyes, but I'm gonna roll them again.
Wow. Anyway,
I thought I heard Phoenix. I'm sorry.
No, it's the TV.
Okay. I was like, I'm gonna pause TV. Okay. So, sorry, we got sidetracked. Yeah, just him, and I'm glad that the Holy Spirit like worked on him in that, but then he also got up in my case about like, okay, you're in fear. Like you have to recognize that. Cause I kept saying like, we gotta use wisdom. And it was more of like.
You were more of like, you were saying it like, mode. In a panic mode, and that's one thing I've learned too, is I can come off real, I don't know how to say it. Like when I joke around, sometimes there's a lot of truth behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to calm down on that a little bit, especially with my wife, I don't want her to ever feel like I'm talking down, to her, about her, whatever, but that was something that I've had to work on. Like, no, I have to learn how to speak to her the right way.
Yeah, it's him crying.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. Phoenix woke up, so we had to go calm him down, or Andrea had to go calm him down.
Put him back to sleep. Yeah. Hashtag parent duties, right?
Yes, they always come. Well, they come first.
Kids come first.
Family.
Yes. So we'll just pick up right where we left off, or try to anyway. We were talking about just
I think I was like trying to talk to you in a better way than coming off frustrated, I guess. I didn't say it on the last part, but pretty much trying to talk to you in an easier and a better way to help me, I guess, understand how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to put you down. Like I would never try to put you down, but it was more of like, man, like that's just how I felt. Like I felt like I was putting her down just because I thought I knew everything, which I don't. I don't think anybody does.
No.
But
you have, like you said, that you had a piece about it, or just like you felt like you weren't worried about it. Like
there was with me for sure. It was more. I was more at peace with it than letting fear in. Like I don't want to let fear or worry into my life. You know, I feel like I'm, I'm the head of the household. So if that fear and worry and anxiety hits me, then man, I feel like it's just going to go down the line. Like it's going to hit my wife, maybe even harder, because she's going to see that I'm in fear. My kids are going to see that I'm in fear. And I don't want them to ever think that I'm in fear, no, like it's all just faith and trust. Like I trust God that, man, like things are going to be okay. I understand right now, yes, it's very hectic, with what's going on, especially even the oil field. The oil field's in bad shape too. Some lost their jobs. Some still have them, but taking pay cuts. But I'm thankful that I'm still working. I am in the oil field, but just to encourage you, like, hey man, keep your head up. Like keep striving, keep trusting. Like, man, God is faithful. He knows you. He sees your heart, and you are his kid. You're a child of God. So why would he not take care of you? He always will. But like with this coronavirus, like, man, I don't know. I was just at peace. I still am at peace. Like everything's gonna be okay. I feel like it's gonna end, sooner than we think. But hey, I still trust him no matter what, whether it ends next week or the end of the year. I don't know, but I'm still going to trust him. Like things are going to be okay. Things are always going to be okay.
Yeah. And I just wanted to also talk about, because they're talking about COVID being the pandemic, but there's also another pandemic, and that's mental health. Like I was reading up on statistics and just different things. I try to stay, that's another thing, either social media and then like the news. I've tried to kind of just not read as much, because there for a while I was like scrolling and just like, there's so much fear that comes from the news, the media, and just, oh my gosh, like it definitely can consume you and grip you. And so I even had to like turn off my notifications and stuff, because I'd get notifications and it was like more deaths and, people with no underlying conditions now, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, enough. Like I'm not feeding into that. And so, but I was reading just how like the cases of mental health, like how a lot of providers are providing free mental health services just because it's gotten so bad too. Like, and yeah, definitely the enemy is going to use this to try to, attack in that area, and people who are already struggling with that, or even people that never really did, all of a sudden will find themselves like, what in the heck happened? Like where did what changed, and just seek help and don't, like, you're not alone. Because a lot of the times, like I said earlier, things that happen to us, like there's triggers there, and like maybe you've walked through loss, or you've gone through like sickness, or your loved one's gotten sick, or something has happened that maybe there's like I know in my case, like there was like post-traumatic stress from like certain things that I walked through that I didn't even realize I had.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. And so when things come at me, it's like it triggers those things. And what I had peace with or whatever, or I felt like I had peace, like it tries to trigger that and come back in. And so I really have to like be careful. And so if you are experiencing, if your mental health is under attack and you are experiencing maybe depression or anxiety or whatever the case is, like seek help. You're not alone. And especially Christians, like I know a lot of, it's crazy, but there's some people that listen to No Holds that aren't necessarily believers or, have their doubts or whatever. So even like religion or that aside, like seriously seek help, like, because sometimes we can be too prideful, or in my case, like being a Christian and like struggling, having that battle of like, I'm not in faith, I'm a failure of a Christian. You guys can go back and listen to that podcast, but being in that never ending cycle and of just beating myself up for not being strong enough to overcome it. And it like, that's why God, doctors are a helps ministry, like that he anointed doctors and he anointed people to create medicine to help us, and why, like if that help is there, why not, because we can mix, like we've heard it, mix the natural with the supernatural and just have faith that that'll help you, and not that you're in faith over medication or in the medication, but you know what I mean? Like your faith and trust is in God. And so anyway, I just wanted to encourage those, if you are struggling with anxiety, having panic attacks, or even find yourself like depressed or, crying all the time or trying to escape reality or whatever, like, or you're in fear, like, oh my gosh, like how I was in panic mode. Like there was a video that a friend of mine sent me that I was like, oh, I was so on the panic mode and, Jamie's over here on the moron mode or whatever. Like, I'm just kidding, you're not a moron. But you know what I mean? Like there's two different types, and I was over here like cleaning everything, like no bringing in the groceries. I was like spraying them, and I mean you take precaution, yes, but I can't, like if I let it will consume me and I will freaking go crazy. Like, and so you have to find that balance. But like just letting, having fear of like your loved ones getting sick, I don't necessarily like, I don't have fear that like myself, like I would get sick or whatever, because I don't know. That doesn't really cross my mind. Like, yes, I obviously don't want it. We plead the blood of Jesus over our home, but I'm more worried about my loved ones, my kids, my family members. I like called my mom last week and was like, Mom, don't come. Like, it's just like in so much fear about it, because I didn't want her to be, I just wanted her to go back to Mexico and lock herself up with my grandma. And I'm like, just don't come, because there's cases here, but honestly, like there's probably cases everywhere now. We just don't even realize it. Like there's not enough testing. Like anyway, also I was gonna, because I heard this on the Connected Life podcast, and it's a really good resource to have. But if you Google COVID-19 data pack, is that what I said? They said, maybe you can put it in the link, like when you post this, but it's got real statistics, and they try to update it daily, but it's I gotta find it, sorry. It's basically informationisbeautiful.net, but it's about the COVID-19. It's the data pack, so it's updated. They try to update it, but it's real statistics about it, what they're recording, and it's basically with all the like facts without the media scares, how they explain it. And so it's really good, because you can go on there and then you don't have to like feed into what the media is telling you and stuff. And so anyway, that's a good, if you're wanting to know more about the statistics and what's going on, how many cases they're recording, all that stuff. So I'm sorry,
No, you're good. I know
ADHD.
you were going to share something too, but I guess what Bill Johnson said.
Oh yeah, I heard a message.
Oh, sorry. But I know, like guys, man, I know men, we can be so prideful sometimes, and that right there is pretty much, I feel like it's fear also, trying to come in like, no, like, I know I had a friend of mine post something on Facebook, like, man, if you're struggling with something, maybe it's food, maybe you're needing something, I have contact me, let me know. There is a friend of mine who had posted something, and he had no response, whatsoever, with food, and I'm pretty sure it's more than that too, but like, let us know, man, let us help you, that's why we're here. Yeah. We're here to help you. So don't let that pride get in your way. Ask for help. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I feel like that's why we're here. That's why we're the church. Us as the church, we should always be willing to help. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I listened to a message that was awesome. But he was talking about, like he said, experiencing fear isn't a sin. Living by it is. And for me to embrace fear is to reject love. You can't abide in both. And that's so good because like one of my favorite scriptures is 1 John 4:18. Like his perfect love casts out fear. I quote it all the time. I quoted it all the time when I was going through like that, and 2 Timothy 1:7, like he's not giving me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and of sound mind. And just like his perfect love in us should cast out that fear. That fear has to go. And like you can't abide in both. And so I never want to reject his love by living in fear. And I have to remind myself, like, and the truth is, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know, like there's so much going on that maybe we don't like. I know that they were talking about how they didn't want what happened in China and what happened in Italy to happen here with the overwhelming the healthcare system and healthcare workers and so many getting sick at the same time, which is totally why we're practicing social distancing and we're doing what the CDC and our president's telling us to do, and doing our part, not being reckless and careless about it, because and like I said, I was on the opposite end. I was angry because I'm like, these people, like, they don't care. What if it would be a different story if it was a loved one of theirs that got sick and died? You know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. I still get frustrated because I'm just like, I don't know. I'm an empath or whatever they call it. Like I'm a feeler. And so like, I'm very passionate and, I feel what others are feeling sometimes, or like if somebody's hurting, then I'm hurting. Like my heart goes out to them, and it kind of just stays with me. I've always been that way. Like there's a lot of things that if it happened, like even if I don't know the person or if I hear about something, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it stays with me. And I hate it sometimes, most of the time, because I'm like, I don't know. I just hate it sometimes because I'm a crybaby. And so anyway, and then I'm very passionate and I get like all riled up, and Jeremy's like, calm down. And so, what I was saying is just, man, you see, y'all, I have ADHD. Leave me alone. I don't know. What was I saying?
We were talking about, going on a little rabbit trail there.
Yeah, I did get on a rabbit trail. I was just saying how, like, there's a lot of unknowns. We don't really know, like, the truth. There could be things, like, I know in the bigger cities, they're getting hit, and, like, New York got hit pretty bad, and then so did California and stuff. And so just praying for those cities and just the healthcare workers and praying for our country, but just doing our part, but not being in fear about it, because there is, like I said, you can get on that in that panic mode of like, not, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to do, and I mean, we should, like right now, our mayor asked us, because we've had now, I think 2 confirmed cases. Mm-hmm. And so, using that wisdom and like abiding by, going by what they're asking us to do, and not being reckless about it and not selfish, because it is, like, to me, I'm like, you don't know if you're carrying, because a lot of it, like they say, most people are asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means you are not showing any symptoms. You could be carrying it and you wouldn't even know. Mm-hmm. And so you go and you are around other people and you have no clue, and then they get they're infected or whatever. And so you just being cautious, being careful, like, and being like how Jeremy said, the church, like we can still be the church and show and extend love, but not put people in danger, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I know our church is doing, like, our reach team, like we're reaching out and we're helping. Like, I know my boss, also, like we've been calling customers and, just checking on them and seeing how, do you need anything? Because if so, like, we have care packages that we can get to you. I've talked to so many people, and that's why I'm saying, like, my heart is so heavy, because a lot of our customers are losing their jobs, like they're, and thankfully, like State Farm, they're they have a plan of action and helping our customers, you know, during this tough time. I think a lot of banks, a lot of companies, you know, they're doing what they can. Our country's coming together, like, and that's what we need to focus on is the fact that, like, look what, you know, this virus is doing so much damage, but it's also, we don't even see like how much good it's doing, you know? And my heart goes out to the ones that have lost loved ones and have lost jobs. And I know I don't know, just my heart goes out to them. But like, even with like losing a job or that scenario, like you don't know what's ahead, because what if you losing this job leads to you finding a better job, or a job that maybe you fall in love with, or, you know, like you just don't know. Like there's just,
God's got plans.
Yeah.
He always does.
And I heard this on the podcast, and it was really good, because it's like, things can either happen to you or they can happen for you. And I thought that was really good, because you can see things as an opportunity. And like right now we can grow from this and come together, and like families are being forced to like spend time, you know.
And that's the thing too, like being in quarantine, like I feel like you're going to have two options. You as a family are going to grow stronger together, or y'all are going to spread more, not spread apart, but do what?
Be torn apart.
But more, I guess, distancing from each other. Like, of course, you know, technology. Technology is gonna be like the number one thing right now. Of course, the school is gonna use it, but besides that, when we get off of work, like, are you spending time with your family, or is it, man, let me just get on my phone, I just want to check something real quick, and then spend hours on that? Well, how about we just spend hours with our family, you know, love on them, you know, get to know them a whole lot better, get to know your kids a whole lot better. I guarantee you, know, me just coming home and spending time with the kids, man, they love that. That is like their number one thing, I believe. So, you know, you have two options. You know, is your family going to come closer together, or is they going to spread apart even more? You know, your kid's going to distance themselves from you. So.
Yeah, and I mean, ourselves, like we haven't really felt that effect. Like we haven't been quarantined. Like we're still going to work because both of our jobs are essential, and so thankfully, you know, we're still working. Like you said, pay cut, but like I don't know, it's God's grace has been there. But you know, our kids being home and stuff, they're bored to death. Like they're just, you know, they're over it. But to me, I'm like now you guys are going to appreciate things so much more. I feel like God is using this to really shift things in this generation and in our country. Yeah, like I said before. But so anyway, spending time with your love, like use this as an opportunity for growth, and also like being a source of strength for those that they need that. Like, you know, if you see someone struggling or anxious or full of fear, you know, like reach out to them, like be that source of strength for them. Don't put people down. Don't shame people for being afraid. You don't know like what they've been through. You don't know. Like, and it's never gonna, like shaming someone is never gonna get them out of fear either. Like, don't be callous to that. You know, like if somebody is anxious or in fear, don't be like, oh. You know, because we can, without knowing it or even, you know, not realizing it, we can make people feel like crap, you know, because it's happened to me where I'm just like, man.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And they don't realize it. And I know they don't mean it at all. I know they don't mean it, but I feel like crap when it's like, man, you know, I overreacted or whatever. And like, I feel like crap now because I was out of faith and I was in fear, and now you saw me in panic mode and going off on you about McDonald's. And
you gotta walk in love. But seriously though, love, like, man, walk in love with everybody. It doesn't matter. You might have your worst enemy out there trying to maybe get some toilet paper, and you have at least 15 rolls at home. Like, do you really need more toilet paper? Heck no. You better put that back. You know, God has given us wisdom. You know, and if you pray for wisdom, like I do, I pray for wisdom. But what good is it if I pray for it and not even use it? Like, use your wisdom. Use what you have. Go ahead, keep talking. I got it. Sorry.
So like, you know, if you're one of those that was hoarding the toilet paper, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. But like, if you know you've repented and God has shown you, like, go and give, like, reach out to those, and because I'm sure there's some. I think now the shortage isn't as bad because the stores have had to put limits, unfortunately.
And then and it's crazy. Like, why did it come down to this?
Yeah,
it's because of us, of people.
Mm-hmm.
We got, of course, like I know sometimes we get carried away, or we're just not prepared for something like this. So then you look at social media, you look at any kind of media, like the news or something, and there's probably saying the worst things ever. So then we get in fear, and we go out and we go buy all this meat, all this toilet paper.
Because everybody else is doing it, and we're like, oh, well, there's not going to be any left. Like,
what
crap.
the heck? Like, and then now when we go over there, it's, you can only just get one, So we kind of put that on ourselves. And, like, come on, people. Like, let's...
Well, we didn't, because we weren't one of those that went and ordered toilet paper. But anyway.
No, it's just like, man, let's learn how to live the way we were. Not to say, it was great back, before, but I'm just saying, like, man, if we go out there and just get what we need, get the things that we need, then, man, we're going to be fine. Like, it's going to be okay. Yeah. I kind of posted this, I think it was last week, maybe. It's 1 Corinthians 12:14. In fact, the human body is not one single part, but rather many parts mingled into one. Yeah. So if the foot were to say, since I'm not a hand, I'm not part of the body, it's forgetting that it's still a vital part of the body. And if the ear were to say, since I'm not an eye, I'm not really part of the body, it's forgetting that it's still an important part of the body. Think of it this way. If the whole body were just an eyeball, how could it hear sounds? And if the whole body was just an ear, how could it smell different fragrances? But God has carefully designed each member and placed it in the body to function as He desires. A diversity is required for the body consistent into one single part. There wouldn't be a body at all. So now we see that there are many different parts and functions, but one body. Guys, we are the body. Mm-hmm. Each one of us plays a different part. I guarantee it, and each one of us is we can help serve this community the right way. Yeah. Help serve one another, help love one another. I know every church, I'm pretty sure right now is doing their part. Mm-hmm. But it goes with us too, guys. Like, we, the church, us as the body, like, we have to do our own part. Mm-hmm. Don't go out there and buy 12 rolls of toilet paper. Like, come on now, it starts with us. We got to set that example. Mm-hmm. But even after this is all said and done, after it's over, hey, let's continue to do our part. Let's continue to go out there and reach this community, reach the world, wherever you're at, wherever you're listening at. Mm-hmm. That's the only way we're gonna be in this together. Yeah. God loves every single one of us, every single one of you guys. Yeah. And as long as we're doing our part, hey man, we're there. We're making His bride beautiful. We're making that church look awesome. And I know it's not about whose church is better. Heck no. Forget that. It's about us as believers getting together, us coming together and doing our part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. I was like all into what you were saying. Ditto on that for sure. And I shared yesterday a song. I've been like, it's crazy because I definitely know that like the Holy Spirit has been stirring in me and just like awakening parts of my soul, I guess you could say, that were just like asleep. I don't know how else to word it. Like I said, I don't know English well. But yeah, there was times where I'd be like, God, like, why don't I feel the way I felt when I first got saved? Or like, why am I not excited about, it was just like mundane, it was like, I don't know how to explain what I was feeling or going through, but just like being excited to like log into live stream and like, watch service and stuff and getting like stirred up about what was being ministered and like the song, and I was listening to like old worship songs that, like, when I first started going to our church, and I grew up Catholic, and so I went to church my whole life, but I never had that like real relationship with God as I do now, like with Jesus, and until I started, like I said, when I got saved, I was 21. But like that was just starting me to like listen to the older worship songs, and I was just like, man, I remember, that fire, that like, I don't remember the scripture where it says like returning to your love, like the Forget it. No. I don't know. But anyway, like when he's asking God to like, y'all are gonna be watching this, and I'm sure Miss Daphne's gonna be like, I don't know. Anyway, just reviving that in me, I guess. And so it's been good for me all together. And then for our kid, like we've gone on walks, and like Skylar works out with me now, and we dance TikToks and whatnot. Like I haven't posted any, but it's fun. Like we've had fun. So
So yeah, being at home is like you can make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, as fun as you want. Like she said, they were doing TikToks, trying to dance.
Trying. Yeah.
No, they were getting it down pretty good. But man, yes, Wednesdays and Sundays, you know, I mean, there's churches out there that live stream. I know ours live streams. You're more than welcome to watch that, you know, Transformation Church.
Yeah.
But I know there's others out there also, you know. If you don't want to watch ours, go watch somebody else's, you know. I mean, you're still getting word in.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Feed your faith.
Yes.
Stop feeding the fear. So do what you can. You have to protect your peace. And that's what I've been doing. And not that I don't want to be uninformed, because I do want to know what's going on in a sense. And so I've been just kind of asking Jeremy, like, I didn't know that Lubbock was like in shelter in place or whatever. And, you know, stuff like that. Like I said, I want to be uninformed or ignorant, but I also have to protect my peace. And like, I can't right now. I just can't. So I just know what's good for me and my soul. And so protect your peace. And if there's something that is triggering you or making it worse, like stop. Don't, if it's social media or whatever, like just get off of it and I don't know, TikTok's pretty fun to watch. And so it's funny. I don't feel like it's super negative or whatever. Oh my gosh, if I like coronavirus, oh my God, freaking Cardi B. I could not get that out of my head. But you know what is funny is like, if y'all have seen the original video, she's like scared. Like she was scared. And that, I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Cardi B coronavirus and like you'll see the original. And she's like, of course anyway, Jesus, she needs Jesus, y'all. She's just like, coronavirus, so she's like, but she's scared. And I'm like, that is so many people in our world right now. Like they don't have hope. They don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't think she knows Jesus because anyway, but like we should be encouraging those and giving those people hope and faith. And I feel like this is such a turning point. Like God is definitely like, it's all a setup and like, he's going to use this. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a game changer because so many people are going to come to the faith because of this or get right, if they weren't. So anyway.
But yeah, but yes, do your part. Keep doing your part. Keep loving on one another. Keep helping each other out. We're here to serve. Let's continue to do that. If you haven't yet, subscribe to YouTube. Also, go follow me on No Holds on Instagram and Facebook. Also, I'm on Spotify, Apple. Or if you have the Anchor app, go to Anchor. But the link's in the bio anyway. But I appreciate you guys, supporting me, encouraging me to keep going. My wife right now, she, even when I started, is my biggest supporter. She's just like, even if you just get even if one listener, if you can just change one life, that's all that matters. And that's it, guys. Like that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in, for listening, for watching. And until next time, we are out.
Peace.
Peace.